Welcome to Diva on a Mission podcast, where we share snippets of joy to uplift, inspire, and motivate you. I am your host, Eva the Diva, and I am thrilled to bring you stories that transform everyday moments into profound experiences. We are closing March very soon, and one of the things that we were introduced to as we celebrated Women's History Month and International Women's Day was give to gain. That was a theme that rubbed me raw the first time I heard it. And I needed to sit with it for a minute to think about the opportunities and the lessons in that simple phrase. Give to gain, or reciprocity. We know very well, Lauryn Hill sang about it. It is something we have been fighting for in our relationships, in our businesses, in the transactions of everyday life. Give to gain. So I wanted to cover 5 simple themes that I think we can take and apply into our lives and our businesses. So, number 1, giving to gain. It is not transactional. It is relational. In most Western contexts, giving to gain sounds like a bargain, like you give money to get a service. But in African communal frameworks, the gain is not an immediate material return, but the deepening of a relationship that ensures mutual survival. For example, ilobolo, which is bride wealth, which is a term used in the southern part of Africa. Among the Zulu, the Xhosa, and the Ndebele peoples, ilobolo or lobola is often misunderstood as paying for a wife. In reality, it is a process of giving that builds kinship. The family giving ilobolo gains something far greater than a spouse. They gain an alliance, ancestral ties, and a safety net. If that family later faces hardship, illness, death, some sort of lack, the receiving family is now bound by honor and gratitude to support them. The gain is a permanent, multi-generational bond. So it is not transactional, it is relational. Then we have number 2. The gain is often invisible. Honor, name, and ancestral blessing. In African reciprocity, what you gain is not always tangible wealth. It can be isithunzi, a person's dignity, or shadow in Nguni cultures, a good name, or the assurance that your ancestors are pleased. Giving is a way of investing in spiritual and social capital. For example, the Sankofa principle, which is recognized in Akan, Ghana. Sankofa means it is not taboo to go back and fetch what you forgot. When an Akan person gives to their family or community, they are giving to gain, a connection to the past and the future. A wealthy Ghanaian who builds a community borehole or funds a funeral does not gain profit. They gain the right to be remembered in libation prayers. Their name is spoken to their ancestors, ensuring that they're not forgotten after death. That spiritual immortality is the ultimate gain. The gain is invisible: honor, name, and ancestral blessing. Number 3, giving creates a debt that is emotional, not financial. In communal societies, giving creates a moral and emotional obligation that is more powerful than a written contract. The gain lies in knowing someone is indebted to you in a way that guarantees future care, not future payment. For example, in South Africa, we have the phrase Ubuntu, often translated as "I am because we are." This reframes giving. Among the Shona of Zimbabwe, the concept of unhu, similar to Ubuntu, means that when you give to a neighbor during a time of loss, for instance, contributing food, labor, or cash to a funeral, you gain the unspoken assurance that when you face loss, you will not grieve alone. The gain is a removal of existential vulnerability. No receipt is given, but the emotional debt is sacred. Giving creates a debt that is emotional, not financial. The fourth one, the cycle must be unfinished to sustain community. A crucial misunderstanding is that reciprocity requires immediate return. In many African traditions, a gift must not be returned immediately. To return too quickly is to reject the relationship. The gain is an ongoing cycle. The fact that the exchange never truly ends, keeping the community interconnected. For example, we have the osusu, which is a rotating savings system in West Africa. We also have that in Kenya. We call it chama or kiama in Kikuyu. Chama is Swahili, kiama in Kikuyu. But it's a system of rotational saving. So, osusu in Western Africa. In Nigeria, the Cameroon, osusu or esusu is a rotating savings group. Each member gives a fixed sum to a pot, and each takes a turn receiving the lump sum. On the surface, it's financial, but the crucial understanding is that the gain is not just the lump sum. It is the trust. By giving regularly and waiting for your turn, you gain credibility, social standing, and a safety net. If you take your lump sum and leave, you lose your place in the community. The gain is sustained belonging, not a one-time profit. So, the cycle must be unfinished to sustain community. Number 5, giving to gain can be a healing act, right? Because emotional exchange is central, giving can be a way to heal personal trauma, restore broken relationships, or reintegrate into a community after alienation. The act of giving repairs the self by reaffirming one's place in the collective. For example, Gashasha or the post-conflict reconciliation in Rwanda. After the 1994 genocide in Rwanda, there was a revived aspect of Gashasha community justice. While it is not a gift in the benign sense, the process involves perpetrators giving labor, reparations, or public confessions to the community. They gave in order to gain something crucial: re-entry into communal life and forgiveness. For survivors, accepting that giving of confession or labor allowed the community to gain stability and emotional healing. Here, giving to gain is about restoring the self through restoring the community. Again, giving to gain can be a healing act. So, as we reflect on this, and if you have any other examples you want to share, please feel free to send them to us at doampodcast@gmail.com. You can share them, your thoughts and comments, by commenting or sharing your thoughts on DOAM Pod on TikTok, or you can follow us on the Animation Podcast on YouTube and share your comments there. So as we reflect on this, I want to look at the Western misconception and the African communal reality. So give to gain is transactional in Western misconception or in Western aspects. And in the African, it is give to gain gains you kinship. Gaining in Western view is profit or asset. In the African common reality, it is honor, belonging, ancestral memory. Debt is financial, to be closed, while in the African reality, it is emotional. It is to be sustained. Quick return is equals to a good thing in Western aspects, but when we look at African communal reality, it is when it is delayed and an ongoing cycle, that is when it is good. And last but not least, giving depletes you in the Western aspect. But when you look at it from African communal reality, giving heals and connects you. So, in this framework, giving to gain is not selfishness disguised as generosity. It is a profound acknowledgement that no one gains alone. The individual gains precisely because the community gains. And the community gains because individuals understand that giving is how you secure a place in the story of the living, the dead, and the yet unborn. So I hope that was a complete and thoughtful reflection on what it means to give to gain. And I hope these thoughts have been helpful to you. Until next time, I hope you have an April that is full of reciprocity and where you give to gain and that you are the richer for it. Until next time, peace.